Hi, I'm Nancy L.T. Hamilton. Welcome to my jewelry studio. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about an oxygen concentrator and using it with a 1-pound propane tank in a jewelry home studio. So let's get over to my soldering area and I will start the show. I decided that having my acetylene, see it hiding there in the dark corner staring at us, it's too dangerous to have in my studio. We live in an area with wildfires, and I kept thinking about evacuating in the middle of the night and not grabbing my acetylene tank and someone coming upon the house to put it out because it's on fire, and the acetylene tank plug blows and sends a gout of boiling flame all over them. So I freaked myself out doing research, and so I've decided to invest in this oxygen concentrator and use that small, see right there, 1-pound camping propane container. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about setting it up and how to use the little torch that I had. So a little bit about the concentrator. I called Rio Grande and I spoke with their jewelry tech team about this, and these are the things that I learned. Okay, this thing registers in LPMs, and this is a 5 LPM concentrator. That's equal to 7 to 8 psi, which is ample to run like this Smith little torch, other micro torches. You're not going to want to use a regular silversmith torch or Gauss or any of the standard larger torches. There's just not enough oomph, at least with the 5. They do make them in 10 and 15 LPMs. Glass bead people, glass workers use those for more heat, much more robust torch that they're using. They're just so much more expensive, and I didn't see many used, but this is a used item here that's been refurbished for soldering. So I'm going to turn this on and just show you, if we can see, happening in this area over here, because this is your pressure. As you can see, I've paired it with a small 1-pound camping propane canister. Okay, it's going to get a little loud in here. Sorry, got to do it. So you want to let this run a bit, and you'll see down in here that the ball is at 0. What you need to do, it won't move unless the torch is on. So here we have, remember, green is oxygen. So if I turn this on, can you see that ball moving right there? So this is about 3 or 4 psi, and there's a chart that I'll include in this video that shows you the usage per tip on the Smith Little Torch. If your LPM seems low, what you can do is you take off the tip and then turn your oxygen on, and that's supposed to increase the level of the LPM. Apparently mine doesn't go above that, 3.5. Don't aim this when the oxygen's on anything flammable, because oxygen is an oxidizing agent and it causes things to ignite faster and burn hotter, set things on fire that you don't intend to. So as I said, you want to use a micro torch for this. You use acetylene, MAP, or propane gases. They recommend flashback arresters. The pressure is going to be reduced, so You may not want to do it because it's already pretty darn low. The flap that's inside of the flashback arrestor may no longer be able to open due to the reduced pressure, so that gas canister may not be fully utilized. If your flame doesn't light, you can try adding more pressure by turning. It's already wide open, but if yours isn't, turn that knob to increase the pressure. If your flame is blowing out all the time, try lowering the pressure, which would be to the right on here. This does not have to be set to burn. The pressure is all adjusted at the torch itself. So that's about all the information I have on this so far, besides how to light your torch and stuff that's coming up ahead in the video. Most regulations I've seen, they don't like propane in the house at all. You probably should undo this and take it out every night or a day whenever you work. It's the problem is when it leaks, it goes to the floor. It's heavier than air, gas, and it sits there. And it doesn't go in the stream that runs through your house of air moving. Like acetylene rises. So if you've got a door open, it's moving in and out of that door, whereas the propane is just sitting there. And you come in, accidentally turn on the light switch and a spark comes, the place blows up. Also, you cannot refill these. I know that they sell the part. I actually bought it on Amazon. Before I used it, I started doing more research on this and found out from the, oh God, it's a government agency. I can't think of the name. Highway something. Anyway, they said it's against the law. You can get up to, $100,000 fine and 5 years in jail for refilling these cylinders. They're not designed for refilling. The walls are too thin. The pressure that comes in on a refill is pretty intense, and these were not designed to handle that. You may have filled some in the past and they went fine, but once again, like the propane laying there and wait on the floor, do you want the potential for this thing to blow up? Because it may not blow up when you're filling it. It may blow up when you're using it, which would be even worse because there's a flame lit somewhere if you're using the propane. So that means you could have a nice explosion. There's a video on my website where something like that happened to a woman who had a little coffee shop in a kiosk. She blew herself up essentially with refilling propane. Okay, enough freak out stuff. For the little torch and any of the micro torches like the Meco or the Poke, yeah, there's the three I can think of off the top of my head. For those, because you're not drawing as much oxygen or you're drawing as much gas, these will work. Now, if you don't have an oxygen concentrator and you're using a disposable canister like this, depending on several factors like tip size and stuff like that, but I have read that this, you go through 1 gas to 5 through 9 oxygen disposable canisters. So potentially on propane, you could go through 9 at the top of the limit compared to 1 canister of gas and 9 canisters of O2. The other thing is if you're using acetylene, and I have never seen acetylene in a disposable unit like this, but God knows it could possibly exist. The ratio is higher. It's like 1 to 25 parts of oxygen. So having a concentrator is nice because I don't have to keep throwing into the landfill oxygen cylinders, tons and tons of them, running out of them, blah, 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 storing them. So this is great because it just continually generates oxygen until it stops. And then I go, I don't know what happened. If you're just starting out and you're buying your first soldering outfit, or you are like me deciding to change out everything, I would invest in either the little torch or one of the others. Actually, the others don't offer kits like Metalsmithing does. The little torch comes with a kit that has these adapters, they're screwed into them. And these are for use with the canisters that I was just talking about, the disposables. They're usually in the kit, there's the torch, like 5 tips, and these things. These, they're charging up to $90 each for these. I don't know why. Must be some kind of fancy little diamonds and gold inside doing things. But so if you can get the kit with the disposable, I guess, regulator, adapter, whatever, go ahead and do that, because then you don't have to buy them separately. And you definitely are going to need them if you're doing this setup. Gentech, that's another micro torch I forgot about. They also sell a two-piece, the gas and the oxygen adapter, for like $110 for both of them. So you might think of that as an added cost. This thing ran me, what was it, like $450, something like that. You can look for them used online, but I did, and they're not cheap, even used. Saw like a median price of about $500 used, and I don't know if they're working or not until I drag them home and then plug them in. So be careful about what you purchase and make sure it comes from a reputable source. Stoller sells these, and they also, in their kit, they have, not only do they have the oxygen concentrator, but they also have the little torch with the propane and adapter and a bunch of other stuff that comes with it. So it's $800, but it's got everything you need to set this up. So that's pretty cool. Two things I don't like about this torch. One is I can't control the pressure, and the other thing is that it's loud and obnoxious, and you have to kind of let it run for a minute or two before you solder. So those are actually 3 things. But I try. So those are the negatives. The positives I'm kind of already going through. I've got constant oxygen if I need it. I never have to throw crap into the dump. It's a lot safer. So when you get this, there's very little you have to do. Like I've already mentioned, I left the propane adapter on the gas side and just screwed it in. There's a bungee cord thing here for, I think, for hose, for if someone was using a cannula in their nose for oxygen. But we're going to use it for holding our little 1-pound cylinder, which is fabulous. And then you screw this on to the doohickey, whatever that's called, that's coming out of the machine, plug it in, and that's it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to light this. It's a pain in the butt, especially if you're using tip 3 or 4 or even 5. I like to use the 7 just because it doesn't go out as easily. These orifices are so teeny. They actually laser cut through sapphires in the smaller tips. I don't think the 7 has a sapphire on it. Be patient with yourself because these things go out very, very easily. By the way, some of the kits come with this little steel, it's like a little key. And this is great because it sticks on magnets. So if you want to, they actually have a holder that you can just magnet it on. I just stuck a magnet on my bench and stick it to that so it holds. But anyway, I've got this little pencil torch. It's butane. And I'm going to light my torch with that. So I need to turn on my concentrator. Hold on, here comes the noise. And I need to open up my propane tank all the way. You're going to put this here for a minute. This thing tightens on and off by left opens and right tightens. So therefore, this works in the opposite direction. So turn it on, you turn it to the left. I'm going to open it all the way. Put it back down in its little house. Turn on my generator. First thing you want to do is turn on the gas, and you're going to light the gas. Just a hair, you don't need a lot. Oh, there's the flame. Got a lot of gas. I'm going to turn it down. Turning the oxygen on, it's slowly adding oxygen. So you got like a 50% gas, 50% oxygen flame here. Just a little less oxygen. It shouldn't hiss. That means you've got a balanced flame. So now I'm going to show you how it works. I moved my hand too fast and put the torch out. So this is a hot flame. Look at that. It melted that fine silver 1700 something degrees in a second or two. Pretty cool. Now, of course, this means because it's so hot, when you're doing little tiny things, you need to be like in, out. You know, look at that. Very hot. So, works great. So anyway, when we were done, we're going to do the opposite of when we started. We're going to turn off our O2, turn off the generator also, and I'm going to turn off the gas. I'm going to open this up so I can feel, and you probably can hear the oxygen coming out. So there's still oxygen. There's a storage. I watched a video on what's inside these things, and there's a storage container in here that the oxygen is pumped into while it's concentrating. So normally what I would do if I was done for the day, so I would I'm going to turn off the gas, turning it to the right, and then light my torch, turn on the oxygen again, and we're just going to let this go until it dies. Now some of the smaller tips, you will get a flame about that size. Like some of them, they're hard to see with any lights on, so make sure you turn the lights off. Okay, so just going to close down this gas, and they say to leave this open, this manufacturer of much larger units, so I'm going to listen to them. So remember, when you start up again, that you'll want to shut this down before you light the torch, because you're going to light gas and then you're going to light oxygen. Well, I have finally run out of things to say on this topic, so I am going to say adios. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I also have a new store. It's NancyLTHamiltonShop.com, not Nancy L.T. Hamilton's shop, no double S. And I also have a fabulous web page that has, pretty much several jewelry making books. Metalsmithing A to Z is my tagline. So check it out at NancyLTHamilton.com. And don't forget to join me for the next video. There's always something new at work.